Right, so in the intro you mentioned that you've been working on this pretty much since the beginning. It was announced in 2014. I think we first saw it at Gamescom in 2015 when you guys were showing off the destructible environments. It's a bit of a journey. Can you kind of talk us through the journey from there to where we are now? Because it's a lot longer kind of dev cycle than most traditional games.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we early on, we established some big goals for the game. I think one of the things that we set forth, one of the expectations that we put on ourselves was to make a first-party title that pushed the first-party envelope in some way and showed developers what was possible on our platform. With that, we took on this whole cloud-powered, destructible environment multiplayer mode called Wrecking Zone. And it just takes some time. It takes some time with new technology to get it right. We feel we have it right, and we're pretty excited to show everybody what we've developed. On the flip side of things, we have this massive campaign, and the map, as you'll see today, and as you've probably played, it's huge. It's a huge environment, and it just takes some time to build out an environment of that size. One of the things that people forget about with Crackdown sometimes is that we always say we don't just go out, we go up as well. In a lot of in a lot of open world games, you see that you're basically running around on the streets. You might go up or down a story or two, but in our game, you can literally climb to the top of the tallest building anywhere. And as a result, you've got to flesh that world out, not just horizontally, but vertically as well. So it's just one of those things. It does take some time to get it right, and we feel like we have.
Originally, it was 3 studios that were working on it. Has that changed at all since? Because it was Ruffian, Reagent, and Sumo, right? I mean, has that changed?
Well, so our partners right now are Sumo Digital, and then we have Elbow Rocket, and then Elbow Rocket has partnered with Certain Affinity as well. So we've got a few partners involved, all working on different aspects of the game.
Right, so the single player in the original, the first and the second game was criticised a little bit in terms of it was very repetitive. What have you guys done in 3 to kind of address that?
Yeah, so the main things that we've done is, we took a really hard look at story. Narrative was one of the things that was sort of lacking from those first 2 games, and we tried to flesh out a story with some bosses that you get to take on that you actually really care about defeating. We got to make sure that those bosses have personalities, that they're memorable, and that they're doing truly kind of nefarious things so that you feel like once you've taken them out, you've done some good for that city. So just that alone has added a brand new layer to things, and it's a very deep layer in terms of motivation for the player. And then just bringing back, a lot of those mechanics of the open world. Every time you play Crackdown 3, it's different. Whether you get in the transforming vehicle, as you'll see, you can actually get into it in a speed mode, and then after you've leveled it up a little bit, you unlock a brand new mode of it that's called the Spider that can stick to buildings and climb up walls. And so just that sort of ability to sort of give players however they want to play this. If they want to spend the entire game picking up cars and throwing them at baddies to take them out and finish the game that way, they can. But they get to decide sort of in this open chemistry set how they want to attack the game.
So we've got a new world. The first 2 games were Pacific City, was it, I do believe? And the new one's New Providence.
That's right.
How does that differ to the Pacific City? I mean, what have you guys focused on? Because the first game and the second game, it's quite diversity. What have you gone for New Providence?
Yeah, well, as you'll see, I mean, it is a living city. So we sort of run the gamut in terms of we've got sort of more slummy, downtrodden areas. We've got high-end casinos. There's a full casino district with nightclubs and neon and lasers. There's high-rise buildings. There's sort of a financial upscale district. We've got shopping complexes, sort of. It runs the gamut, and as you work your way around the island, you actually see all these different areas of the map, and each one does feel unique and distinct.
I'm assuming plenty of orbs populate the world?
Yeah. So I was one of the weird people that completed the first game. I did it twice, collected all the orbs twice throughout the first game, so I was an addict for sure, and the orbs are back, and they're just as addictive as they've ever been.
So Crackdown is known for gadgets, tools, wacky kind of ways to take down enemies and buildings and stuff like that. What can we expect from Crackdown 3?
More. I mean, we absolutely have more. One of my favorite devices that we've added is called the jump pad. You can throw it out on the ground, and as a vehicle drives over it, it will actually fling the vehicle through the air. And we've already seen some people set those up for crazy, insane stunts. And just, it's one of those things like we give the players all the tools, and then we let them sort of play the way that they want to. And I can guarantee that there's ways that people will come up with, and they'll stream these crazy moments that we'd never even thought of.
So what would you say are the new kind of gameplay additions to Crackdown with 3?
So as far as, I mean, we are, at our core, we actually wanted to really pay homage to that original title. We wanted to stay true to it. So when it comes to things like, we've got all new weapons, we've got all new gadgets, there's a couple of things that I don't necessarily want to reveal until people play it, because we've got some really good secrets in the game as far as some of the later weapons that you unlock do some really crazy things. But it truly is about sort of staying true to that Crackdown formula and allowing people to sort of play the game that they want to play, level up the way they want to play, work on the skills that they want to work on, and sort of build it into their own experience. I honestly believe that you and I will have very different experiences when we play this game, and that's a great thing, because I will step into your world and say, wait a minute, where did you get that weapon? And you'll say, well, where did you get that gadget? And that's the beauty of an open world game that is truly go anywhere.
So you say the co-op there, it's a 2-player co-op?
That's right.
It used to be 4-player, I do believe. What happened in the kind of development between moving from 4 to 2?
Yeah, so it was one of those things where as people played 4-player co-op, we felt like the experience overall from a design standpoint, they just didn't feel as powerful when you had 4 agents in there playing together. And on top of that, we wanted to actually take some of those resources and put them over to the 5v5 multiplayer side of things. So it was a conscious decision just to make it, when you're in there with 2 players, you actually still feel like that ultra-powered superhero agent that you're supposed to.
So obviously the multiplayer is big on destruction. Does any of that carry over to the single player, or is it all specifically focused in the multiplayer?
The cloud-powered destruction is multiplayer only.
There's also a mechanic called Gangs Bite Back. What is that, and how does it work?
Yeah, so the easiest way to think about that is if you anger the gang, and if you anger them enough, especially as certain factions, if you sort of pick at them enough, they're eventually going to retaliate. They're going to jump on you in some way, and you're going to feel it. Even as a hyper-powered agent, you're going to know that you have angered the right people, and they're coming after you. So they'll send, whether it's drop pods or just backup troops, they will come in full force and try to basically let you know that you may have pushed them a little too far.
I don't know how legitimate this is, but Xbox.com puts the game download at 201 megabytes. Is that because you guys are you doing anything with like the Project xCloud stuff? Is that just a mistake?
So that I honestly I have no idea when it comes to download size.
Yeah, because it was just a weird one, 200 megs for a game.
Sure.
I just thought you guys might be doing something with, because obviously on the multiplayer side you're doing all the cloud stuff, right. The computations. Does that change much, the cloud stuff, over the years?
Well, I mean, it's just like anything else, right? We had to figure out the technology, so it's changed, but it's the natural change that happens in any kind of development cycle when you're sort of figuring out new technology.
Last but no means least, you guys are on Games Pass. Does that kind of take the pressure off a little bit, in terms of there's a lot of pressure these days with Day 1 sales and pre-orders? Like, you're kind of going out, you've got your audience already, and a load of people who are going to play the game because you're on Games Pass. Does that kind of take the pressure off a little bit?
Pressure it's a weird term. Like, we actually see it as a huge opportunity. We're insanely excited to be on Game Pass day and date, because it's going to open the game up to so many people to try out and experience that may not have done it anyway. So I don't think it alleviates any kind of pressure, because I don't think we were feeling any pressure necessarily. We just see it as a tremendous opportunity for lots and lots of people to be able to experience Crackdown 3.
And I guess it kind of harks back a little bit to Crackdown 1, where everybody played it because of the Halo. It was Halo 3 beta, was it?
Sure. Yeah. It's just, we know that once people try this game, it is over the top, it's bombastic, it is completely in your face. It is truly a living graphic novel, and we know people are going to love it. You can play Crackdown 3 February 15th on Game Pass. It is available on Xbox One and PC Windows 10.